Hall to kick it off. Jaden Christian back deep to return for Indian Creek. Week 8 in Ohio, and we're underway. Deep kick. Hauled in inside the 15-yard line. Brought out to the 20. And just shy of the 30, being tackled is Jordan Hines on the return for Indian Creek. So just about average starting field position for the Redskins, led onto the field by senior quarterback, experienced starter Ian Starkey, who was the starter for this team last year at Beaver Local when Indian Creek won this game in a low-scoring defensive slugfest, 14-0. We'll see if that's the same fate this game sees with a low-scoring affair. Bunch set, pistol formation for Indian Creek. Bruce Matzar, the tailback, he gets the call. Left side, makes a cut in. Liam Jordan hits in at the line of scrimmage, and Matzar able to spin out to the 34-yard line for a 5-yard, maybe a 6-yard pickup on first down. Matzar, one of the lead running backs on this team, one of the 2 offensive captains alongside Ian Starkey that we'll see a lot of. Gavin Powell now will also get some run. He's going to line up in the slot left side. At least first look on this formation, it's an empty set for Starkey. Didn't see a lot of this last year. Powell now's the motion man. Starkey's going to give it to him. Right side, Powell now has the first, out past the 40. And finally wrestled down at about the 43-yard line. Good run on the end around carry by Gavin Powell. His first touch certainly won't be his last. And he picks up the first down of the game for Indian Creek. Powell, one of a number of 3-year Letterman seniors on this Indian Creek team. Starkey, one as well, a couple on that offensive line, and Samaj and Nishan White alongside Luke McMillan. A lot of experience on that offensive line and defensive line for Indian Creek both ways. Shotgun look for Starkey. He's going to give Matzar up the middle into a wall of Beaver Local defenders. Matzar goes down at the 46-yard line. So only 3 yards on the first down pickup for Bruce Matzar. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Powell now will come back onto the field for the 7-0 Indian Creek Redskins. This is the first conference game for Indian Creek since week 2 when they played East Liverpool. They beat the Potters 37-19 in that game. The 2 conference games Indian Creek has played so far, week 1 against Cambridge, week 2 against Indian Creek, a combined 72-25 score in those 2 games in favor of the Redskins. Empty set. Starkey sends Powell in motion, similar to the last 2nd down play, but he fakes the give to Powell. Starkey rolls right, throws it away at the last second. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage. It looked like by Aiden Price. And it sets up 3rd down and 7. A big play by the Beavers defense to set up 3rd down and long for Indian Creek. And just to note, Aiden Price wearing 31 today. He wears 31 on the road, 41 at home. For the Beaver fans watching, that's a bit of a different number change to keep track of throughout the game. 3rd down and 7. Starkey goes into an empty set again. 3 receivers bunched to the right of the formation. Also a tight end on the line of scrimmage. Starkey to throw. Deep drop. Rolls left. Still scanning downfield. He's got nowhere to go, though. Going to try to tuck it and run. Price misses a tackle. And Starkey's going to get close to that 1st down marker. It depends on where he's spotted. He's going to be at least a yard short. Line to gain was the 47-yard line in Beaver Local territory. He's marked down right between the 48 and the 49. The nose of the football is at the 48-yard line. It's 4th down and 1. A big scramble drill by Ian Starkey just to make this 4th down and manageable to go for it. Everything was bottled up down the field by the Beaver Local secondary. But Starkey on the scramble drill. He'll go under center. Bit of a T formation. Starkey gives left side. Matzar hit behind the line of scrimmage and driven back at the 50. The Beavers turn the Redskins away on the opening drive. A big defensive stand by the Beavers defensive line to open up the game. Matzar's forward progress got right back to the line of scrimmage, but it's not enough to move the chains. And Beaver Local will have good starting field position at their own 48-yard line. What a start for the Beavers defense. They gave up an early 1st down, but after that they buckle down. And we'll see this offense led onto the field by Wade Foster and company. go to work trying to turn the turnover on downs into points. Layton Jones will start the game as the tailback. Bunch set for the Beavers. Still 4 wide receivers in the formation, but they're all bunched to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback power for Foster right side. That was all Foster as the Beavers tried to get to the line quickly, catching Creek on their heels. It's a good carry for Foster out to the Redskin 44-yard line. 8 yards on the first down carry by the Beavers quarterback. And we'll see a number of different Beavers run the ball. That's been the focus the last few weeks, getting into the hands of Lane Jones, getting the quarterback Wade Foster on the move. Richie Weiss has been incorporated into the run game a little bit as well. And Zaven Riley on the end-around carries and some screen passes. A bit of an extension of the run game. We'll see a lot of guys get the ball into their hands quickly. The aforementioned Richie Weiss is the motion man. Foster fakes the give, though, takes it himself, and is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. That's the Redskin defensive line making a stand. Nashawn White with the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down and 2. It's been the pass game that has not quite been what the Beavers want it to be, but effective at times. We saw Luke Redos in his return from injury make a number of big catches in the second half of last week's game. Two men in the backfield with Foster. Aiden Price to his right, Lane Jones to his left. Foster takes it himself. 3 carries for Foster on the opening drive. This one is a first down inside the 40-yard line. Marked down at the 38. Foster picks up the first down with his legs. All 3 opening plays a run by the Beaver quarterback, Wade Foster. At least this opening script has the Beavers quarterback trying to do a lot of damage with his legs, potentially opening up some running lanes in the boundary for those guys like Richie Weiss and Zaven Riley, or some extra running lanes for Lane Jones. He had a good first quarter against Youngstown East, but second quarter and on, that Bears defense really keyed in on Jones, and there wasn't much of anywhere to run. Here's his first carry of the game, left side, cuts it up the field at the 35, and that's what Lane Jones does best, running after contact. Out to the 33-yard line. He was hit right at about the 37, churns the legs for an extra 4 yards. They'll mark him down at the 32, so a 6-yard pickup on first down for Lane Jones. Beavers not quite huddling, but it's not a tempo, no-huddle offense, at least a traditional no-huddle offense. They're all bunched up like right around where they're going to line up in the formation, but taking their time, looking to the sideline for a play call. Play clock down to 10. Motion man is Weiss. Foster gives it to him this time. Weiss looking for a block. Has a first down. Weiss cuts it in at the 20. Down to the 15-yard line, inside the 15 to the 12. Richie Weiss on the end around carry, a big chunk of yardage. And the Beavers are knocking on the door on this opening drive. This is no huddle tempo by the Beavers. Back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers bunched to the left side of the formation. Foster, quick hitter, caught. McKenzie, left sideline, upended inside the 10. At about the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. He's actually going to be spotted at the 9, so a 4-yard pickup there for McKenzie. Makes it 2nd down and 6. Line to gain is the 3-yard line, so the Beavers can get a first down without getting into the end zone. But they're at the end of the field, accompanied by the Indian Creek Marching Band, and it's joint band night. The middle school band also here for the Redskins as well, so they're making quite a bit of noise on this end of the field. Power pistol formation. Give goes to Jones. Powers ahead to the 5. Maybe didn't quite get to the 5. They'll mark him down at the 6, another 3 yards, and it makes it 3rd and 3 for the Beavers offense. Could be potential field goal territory. Braden Hall has made from this range in warm-ups all 8 weeks. But a 3rd and short, if this is 4th and short, you got to imagine the Beavers on the road against a 7-0 Redskin team that's number 4 in their own region. You want to set the tone early after that turnover on downs defensively. Power pistol. Foster was going to run this one right on quarterback power, but Coach Mike McKenzie running onto the field to take a timeout offensively here to get his offensive play call in, the best potential play call for this upcoming 3rd and 3. Already 6 minutes and 5 seconds have gone by in the first quarter. 5:55 to play in the opening frame. Beavers on their opening drive. No score between the Beavers and the Redskins. It's been a relatively quick first 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Beaver Local dominating the time of possession early. Indian Creek got a first down. They weren't moving too fast, not trying to push the tempo offensively, but they didn't get to hold the ball that much. Only getting one first down and then not converting a 4th and 1. And the Beavers have taken a good amount of time off the clock, moving the ball from their own 48-yard line down to the Indian Creek 6 now, hoping to get those final 6 yards on the drive to find the turf with red paint, yellow letters that would give them 6 points. This time it's Jones to the left, Price to the right, a Foster in the backfield. Do they go quarterback power again on this drive? We haven't seen Foster run since that first 3rd down. Foster going to throw, looking McKenzie's way. Foot of the pylon, touchdown! Foster finds McKenzie in an opening drive. March has the Beavers up 6-0. How about that start for the Beavers going on the road against 7-0 Indian Creek? They get a turnover on downs defensively, and they turn it into 6 points. Braden Hall off for the extra point, trying to make it 7. Luke Redos to hold. Snap is high. Redos corrals and gets it down, and Hall gets the kick off, and it is through the uprights. And good. 7-0. Beaver Local, an early statement on the road against the Redskins. They have the lead.
My name is Cheryl Colas, and my husband and I just recently purchased a 2019 Chevy Equinox. For me, it was not like walking into a dealership. It was like walking into a place where you felt welcome. Working with Joe was really like working with a friend. He was very interested not only about the car we were purchasing, but he was also interested about our personal life as well. I'm Cheryl Colas, and Greenwood Chevrolet went the extra mile for us.
Beaver Local set to kick it away to Indian Creek with a 7-0 lead. 5:51 to play in the first quarter. The Wade Foster 6-yard touchdown pass to Nicholas McKenzie on the opening drive puts Beaver Local up. After their defense got the turnover on downs. Braden Hall ready to kick it off. Again, the deepest return man for Indian Creek here is Jaden Christian. This is a low-lining line drive kick that goes over the head of one Redskin and just dribbles out of bounds. So it'll be a free kick out of bounds penalty. Ball will be brought out to the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for the Redskins. But here comes that Beavers defense. Got to be riding high off of that first drive and then their offense giving them 7 points. Or actually, this ball is going to be spotted at the 17-yard line. They're going to say one of the Redskin return men touched it. When it initially bounced over one of the return men at the 30-yard line, the officials are going to say it was touched then, so it rolls out of bounds. It's not a free kick out of bounds penalty. Redskin football at the 17. Starkey to throw. Quick hitter. Pass caught. Ethan Starr cutting back. Can the Beavers rally to the ball? Yes. All of that. You had a next-gen stats for this game. He probably traveled 30, maybe 40 yards, but he's only able to net 2 in the positive out to the 19-yard line. First catch of the game for Ethan Starr. First pass completed by Ian Starkey, but it's only a 2-yard completion. Second down and 8. Line to gain is the 27-yard line. Starkey in the shotgun with 4 receivers in the pattern, 2 left and right. Starkey. Give to Matesar, left side. He's got a wide open lane to run. First down, Bruce Matesar out to the 35-yard line before Luke Redos brings him to the ground. And that's the first big chunk play on the ground for Indian Creek. That's been the name of the game this season for Indian Creek. Big chunks on the ground, running it with a multitude of guys, similar to the approach Beaver Local had taken in previous weeks. Trying to get a number of guys the football on quick hitters and on handoffs. We see it on the option. Starkey gives it to Matesar for a big pickup out to the 36-yard line. 17 yards on the previous play. Sets up 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Starkey under center in a traditional I formation. Starkey, the give to the deep tailback. It's Matesar again, and Matesar is hit after a 1-yard gain by Peyton Cowdery. Short gain out to the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Redskin offense. Approaching 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Starkey in an empty set. Motions a tight end. Starkey rolls left, looking to throw. Sets, fires backside, looking for a screen to Matesar. It was set up, but the pass is errant over the head of Matesar and incomplete. Lucky that fell into no man's land. And it's 3rd down and 9. Sets up a long 3rd down for the Redskin offense again. 3:52 to play in the first quarter, with the clock stopped on the incompletion. And the Beavers defense another chance to get off the field early. Starkey in an empty set. Xavier Vines is the motion tight end from right to left again. Starkey rolls right. Straight roll right, looking to throw. Has nowhere to go. Fires. It's just a throwaway. It's incomplete. 4th and 9, and the Beavers defense makes another stand. No flags down. And the punt unit will come onto the field for the Redskins. And how about this start for the Beavers defense? They're going to force a punt. And so long as this is a clean return or a fair catch, the Beavers will have the football late first quarter, up a touchdown. Redskins run a man on late for the punt coverage team. They still have 10 seconds to snap the football. Richie Weiss is the return man for the Beavers. Kick is low, but it's off clean. Rolling left side. The Beavers are just going to leave this one die at the 35-yard line, so they'll have solid starting field position for the offense to come onto the field. They went 52 yards on a touchdown drive earlier in the quarter. Looking to do something similar here and potentially take an early 2-score lead against the undefeated Redskins. But huge kudos, at least in this first quarter, to the Beavers defense. They have only allowed 2 first downs, forcing Indian Creek to go 0 for 2 on 3rd downs in the opening quarter. Really the game plan, trying to get those 3rd and longs, those obvious passing situations for the Redskins. And the Beavers defense holding serve early. Shotgun look. Foster with Jones in the backfield. Foster, quick hitter near side, caught by Redos, looking for blockers. He spins down at the 37-yard line. Very minimal gain on the screen pass by Luke Redos. His first catch of the game. We mentioned he made a number of big-time catches in the second half last week to get the Beavers offense going. A big part of the reason they scored 21 unanswered in the second half to beat Youngstown East to move to 4-3 last week. You talk about that last week victory, just a gutsy performance and a potentially season-altering win to get this team into a playoff push. Whistles blow. It was going to be 2nd and 8. Officials timeout here. There's no flag, at least just yet. There's going to be an officials discussion. 3 minutes and 1 second on the first quarter clock. Our head official in the white hat is talking to somebody off to the right at about the 40-yard line here. Try to give you a look at this discussion. Not sure what it is. Handshake between the two parties. Unfortunately, a conversation we're not privy to. Both teams going to retreat to their sidelines for the time being. Seems like everything's in order and we're ready to go with 2nd down and 8 for the Beavers. Indian Creek slowly wandering their way back onto the field. Beavers still in the huddle on their sideline. And that's one thing about Beaver Local and Coach McKenzie. When they get a free timeout, they are going to use the entire time that they are allotted to talk things over. Redskin fans trying to get their defense into it. Second down and 8. Shotgun look. Lone receiver to the left is McKenzie. Motion man is Weiss. Foster fakes the give, keeps it himself. Right side. Brought down at the 40-yard line. 3-yard pickup there for Foster. Was looking for one more block, but he couldn't get it. Brought down by Mason Salazar. And it's 3rd down and 5 for the Beavers offense. They went 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on that opening drive. Can they pick up another conversion here? Shotgun look. 3 receivers left. 1 right. The ball is snapped. That's going to be an illegal snap penalty, so the play won't count, but it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Beaver Local. They tried that deke out snap count where everybody turns to the sideline. Looks like it's the play being begun. Actually, this is going to go against Indian Creek. This is going to be an encroachment penalty against the Redskins for jumping into the neutral zone. The officials are going to say that is what caused the illegal snap. 1st down, Beaver Local. Wow. A big-time turn of events that I'm sure you can hear the Redskin fans are not happy about. So they tried that deke out snap count. They've done this for a number of years, the Beavers have, where they all turn to the sideline. It looks like the ball is going to be snapped, but it's not, and teams will jump into the neutral zone, and that's a free 5 yards. So it worked, and it's a 1st down. On the next play, Foster rolls left. Pass is incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver, Nicholas McKenzie. It would have been a 1st down if he was able to hold on to it. But it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. But how about that to pick up the 3rd and 5? Thought it was going to be 3rd and 10 for a second, but maybe a gift. Can the Beavers capitalize on it on this drive? 2nd and 10. 2:01 to play in the 1st quarter. Line again is the 45-yard line on the Redskin end of the field. Shotgun look. Jones in the backfield. Foster gives it. Right side. Jones. Past the 50 to the 45. He picks up a 1st down. The tough, hard-nosed running by Lane Jones. Again, the best part of his game are those yards after contact. Picks up about 9 yards after contact there. 11 yards total in the net positive. 1st and 10 Beavers out to the 44. Line to gain now is the 34-yard line on the Redskin end of the field. Approaching about a minute and a half to play in the 1st quarter. Again, the Beavers with a 7-0 lead and the football, if you're just joining us. The Redskins had a 4th and 1 on their opening drive of the game. They got the ball first, but were unable to convert. The Beavers got it at their own 48 and went 52 yards on a touchdown drive that was capped off by a Wade Foster 6-yard pass to Nicholas McKenzie on a 3rd down. The ensuing drive, Indian Creek would get 1 1st down and then be forced to punt. And now the Beavers on their drive following said punt. Coach McKenzie and the Beavers are going to take their 2nd time out here. Play clock was winding down there previously. That's why the Beavers took that time out, so they'll talk things over. We'll take a quick break. 7-0. Beaver Local leads late stages of the 1st quarter.
How did things ever get so far with your high heating bills? You should have come to me. And if you had come to me, I could have told you to call Michael at MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Michael is one of my trusted friends, and he will now be one of your friends. MP Vivo will take care of everything with a 96% high-efficiency furnace from Rude. Call MP Vivo for a free estimate at 330-259-0486 and let them take care of your situation.
First and 10 for Beaver Local. Could be a key thing to remember down the road in this 1st half at least. They only have 1 timeout remaining for the remainder of the 1st half. There's only 1 minute and 21 seconds on the 1st quarter game clock. We still have a full 2nd quarter to play, and only 1 timeout will be in the Beavers' back pocket for that. But it's 1st and 10 after an 11-yard Lane Jones run. The holdup right now is Indian Creek head coach Andrew Connor discussing something with one of the midfield officials. Not sure if anything will come of it, but we're still 1st and 10. Foster gives it left side. That's Owen Moore trying to find the edge. He can't get there, and there's a flag down on the backside of the play. First touch of the game for Owen Moore. He loses a couple of yards. Indian Creek rallying to the football. It would be 2nd and 12 if they decline the penalty. 1st and 20 if they accept. Again, the TFL could make it that Coach Connor does not accept the penalty. He will, though, so it'll be 10 yards from the previous spot. 1st and 20 for the Beavers offense. And penalties like that, drive killers. Last week's game, we saw a number of drive-killing penalties that affected Youngstown East. Gave the Beavers life, kept them in the game in the first half. Was a big reason they were able to launch that 13-point comeback in the second half. They're going to hope this is the only one that really could affect them this game. Maybe it won't affect them. Foster left side on the read option. He's going to pick up the penalty yardage and a little bit more. He scoots out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And that about as good of a play as you can get if you're Beaver local following the penalty. So now you question whether the penalty should have been accepted or not. It was a 7-yard difference, but an extra down. That's a 50-50 call for Coach Connor. It's 2nd down and 9, though, after a 12-yard pickup on 1st and 20 by the quarterback, Wade Foster, on the ground. He's had a number of big runs in the early stages of this game. He runs out of bounds, so the clock stops with 44 seconds to play. Foster looking to throw. Quick hitter far side, pass low and incomplete. McKenzie, the intended receiver, had to go low for it, couldn't quite come up with the catch, and it's 3rd and 9. And you wonder if this area of the field, at what point does it become automatic go-for-it territory on a 4th down? Are they there yet, or do they need a few more yards to even think about it? Clock stopped with 40 seconds to play in the first quarter after an incomplete pass. 13 seconds to snap it, play call in for the Beavers. They have to get to the 34-yard line for a 1st down. Foster rolls right. Pitches it, and it's going to go for a loss. They try to misdirection a little pitch play, Kansas City Chiefs style, to Lane Jones, but the Redskin defensive line all over it. The Beavers are going to run this to the end of the first quarter before they make a decision, but this feels like a punt scenario, and the Redskin defense comes up clutch to keep this a 1-score game and try to get their offense the football back. Second quarter coming up in just a few. Clock will run out. We'll flip ends of the field. And we'll get started on quarter number 2 here at Indian Creek High School. Wintersville, Ohio. Big game. Indian Creek and Beaver local, and it's the 4-3 Beavers on the road with an early touchdown lead here on YSN.
Toyota of Warren, trusted to get you into your dream ride since 1996. And winner of Carfax's top-rated dealer award 6 years in a row. We've got great trucks, an experienced finance team, and the ease of Toyota Care's no-cost maintenance on all new Toyotas. Find yours with us today at Toyota of Warren. Check out Toyota of Warren's all-new website for online inventory with new models delivered daily. Set up financing or schedule service at toyotaofwarren.com.
It'll be 4th and 13 coming up for Beaver local from the Indian Creek 47-yard line, and the punt unit is on the field. So the Redskin defense comes up clutch. They give up a couple of first downs, but the holding penalty ultimately ends up being a bit of a drive killer for Beaver local. They were looking to go up potentially 2 scores, but Indian Creek will get the ball back, a chance to tie the game potentially. Cowdery punts it high and in the air. Takes a kick back at the 22-yard line and dies at the 25. So average starting field position for Indian Creek. Coach McKenzie on the far side thinks that a Redskin touched the ball, that it went off the heel of an Indian Creek player, but no official is going to give him that call. It'll be Redskin football from their own 25-yard line, trying to get a drive going. They've gotten 1 first down on each of their first 2 drives, but since they were forced to punt both times. Matesar on the carry, left side, big gain, tripped up by McElroy before it was an even bigger gain. But 11 yards by Bruce Matesar on first down, out to the 36-yard line. And Indian Creek hoping that that's the kick-starting play for this offense to kick it into high gear. It's been a high-scoring unit most of the season, averaging north of 30 points a game. Pistol look. Quick tempo for Creek. Give to Matesar again. Up the gut. Tripped up at the 40-yard line. Not much doing there for Bruce Matesar. 4 yards on the play. Good push up front by Indian Creek to make it 2nd down and 6. Now the Redskins will take their time in the huddle. One receiver left and right for Starkey. Matesar once again the tailback in a pistol look. Now he gets to Starkey's right in a shotgun. Starkey rolls right. He's already got this one tucked. This is a run all the way. Cuts it up the field. Starkey sandwiched at the 42-yard line. And a flag comes in near the hit. This may be a face mask or a personal foul penalty of some other nature against the Beavers. And it is a face mask against Beaver local. Big 15-yard penalty, and for the first time on a drive tonight, Indian Creek has picked up 2 first downs. Out to the Beaver local 43-yard line. And now the Redskins threatening to tie this game. Early in the second quarter. Starkey under center. His tailback is Matesar again. They call his number. Right side, Matesar inside the 40. Stacked up, shy of the 35 at the 37-yard line. But a 5-yard pickup, maybe 6 there for Matesar on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4. And it was a great first quarter for this Beavers defense. But as always, this is at minimum a 4-quarter game. Indian Creek trying to make the necessary adjustments. Starkey, quick hitter, Starr. Makes the catch, makes a man miss. Redos has the angle and brings him down inside the 30 at the 27, but Starr picks up the first down, and Indian Creek on the move. First down and 10 at the 28-yard line for Indian Creek. Inside 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. Again, Redskins trying to tie this game. Offense, the first 2 drives, struggled to sustain a drive, but now this is sustained here. Pitch, Matesar cuts it in to the 25 and falls forward to the 24. And some pushing and shoving afterwards, and a flag gets thrown. Nathan Stahl hit the deck late in the scuffle. So offsetting personal foul penalties, the 4-yard pickup counts for Matesar. It'll be 2nd and 6, maybe 2nd and 7, between 6 and 7. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Nathan Stahl for the Beavers and Maverick Woodbury of the Redskins. Tag for the penalty. Starkey keeps it up the middle. Not much doing, maybe a yard to the 23-yard line. We'll give him the 22. A couple of yards there for Ian Starkey. It'll be 3rd down and 4. This is quite obviously 4-down territory if you're Indian Creek, this area of the field. First 3rd down of the drive for the Redskin offense. They're 0 for 2 in the game so far. Play clock down to 12. Now Starkey has the play call. He'll deliver it to the Redskin huddle. Clock inside, 8.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Starkey still delivering the play. Coach Connor's going to have to burn a timeout, or else this is going to be a delay of game penalty, and here comes the timeout. Stops the clock with 8:19 to play in the second quarter, so 2 timeouts remaining for the Redskins, 1 timeout remaining for the Beavers. 3rd and 4 coming up for Indian Creek's offense from the Beaver local 22-yard line. When we come back, 7-0, Beaver Local the lead.
My name is Cheryl Colas, and my husband and I just recently purchased a 2019 Chevy Equinox. For me, it was not like walking into a dealership. It was like walking into a place where you felt welcome. Working with Joe was really like working with a friend. He was very interested not only about the car we were purchasing, but he was also interested about our personal life as well. I'm Cheryl Colas, and Greenwood Chevrolet went the extra mile for us.
Back here in Wintersville, Ohio, Indian Creek High School. The score 7-0 in favor of the Beavers, but Indian Creek on the march. They have a 3rd down and 4 right now from Beaver Local's 22-yard line. Starkey out of the shotgun. Fakes to Matesar, keeps it himself. Starkey has the first, inside the 10. Spun down inside the 5. And a late flag thrown as Starkey is slow to get up after being spun down by Tucker McElroy. McElroy is pointing in the direction of the Redskins, but the flag was thrown after Starkey was brought to the ground. It'll be 1st and goal regardless here for Indian Creek. Unless this penalty is against Indian Creek, I should say. So not regardless. Awaiting the penalty call. Nobody is moving back. The early indications are that this is a penalty against the Beavers defense. Flag is still on the ground, and things are still being discussed. Here's the penalty. So Nathan Stull called for a 2nd personal foul penalty on this drive. That not offsetting with any Redskins, so it's half the distance to the goal. Ball gets spotted at the 2. 1st and goal. Redskins, can they pay it off? Gavin Powell now can. Touchdown Indian Creek, and an extra point can tie the game. A much-needed 75-yard touchdown drive for Indian Creek to get the offense going with 7:48 to play in the 2nd quarter. The kicking unit on for the game-tying PAT. Franco Barcolo is the kicker. Cade Hines is his holder. Snap is low but corralled. Haynes, good hold. Barcolo, good kick. And we have a tie ball game, 7-7. Midway through the 2nd quarter, the Beavers and Redskins knotted at 7 apiece. Beaver Local, their offense has a chance to answer when we come back.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships.
We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team.
Your goals, our game plan.
Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Beavers set to receive the kickoff from Indian Creek. 3 return men, Richie Weiss, Owen Moore, and Dylan McKenzie. This kick is going to be a low ground ball, though. Takes a hop at the 20, still on the ground. Picked up by Dylan McKenzie, who's looking for a block. Out to the 25, and the ball comes out. He fumbled it at the 25-yard line. We'll see if Beaver Local hopped back on it, and it looks like they did. So disaster avoided for the Beavers. Nearly a possession stolen by Indian Creek. But the Beavers hop back on the fumble, and they will get the football, sending their offense onto the field from their own 27-yard line, trying to answer the Redskins and reclaim the lead. And these teams have already combined for the same amount of points that were scored collectively in that defensive slugfest last year. It was a 14-0 Redskin victory. Beaver Local didn't score in the game a year ago. Already a touchdown in this one, and they were moving the ball relatively well last time they had it. A holding penalty really deterred the drive. Foster gives to Jones, right side, can't bounce it around. He tries to stay on his feet, but gets brought down for a loss at the 25-yard line. 2-yard loss on the play. And it's 2nd down and 12. Credit Mason Salazar with a TFL. Line to gain is the 37-yard line for the Beavers offense, now behind the sticks. Trying to establish the run there, but Indian Creek all over it. 4 down linemen for the Redskins here. 4 receivers in the pattern. 2 left and right for Foster. Deke out snap count, doesn't buy him a free 5 yards. Now communication between the Beavers offense with 5 seconds to snap the ball. Foster will drop back, looking to throw. Pressure by Salazar, taking a deep shot. Incomplete, just off the extended fingertip of Nicholas McKenzie. Or that actually may have been Jack Nocella, the intended receiver on the far sideline, and it sets up 3rd and 12. Yeah, that intended receiver was Jack Nocella on the last play. Tried to extend both hands to get to the football. He got a couple fingertips on his right hand on the ball, but couldn't haul in a deep shot. It was a pretty solid throw from Foster, but a tough play to make on both ends, and it's now 3rd down and 12. Long way to go for the Beavers offense, trying to avoid their first 3 and out of the game. Shotgun, Foster. Straight drop back. Redskins bring pressure, but Foster has time. Sideline shot for Jones over the shoulder. It's incomplete. Knocked away by Gavin Pownell. And it's a 3 and out for the Beavers offense. Beautiful defense and coverage by Pownell on the wheel route by Lane Jones. There's a flag in the backfield right now, but the indication is holding against Beaver Local. So it'll be declined by Coach Connor and the Redskins, and it'll be a punt coming up for the Beavers. And the Redskins defense has responded big time since giving up a couple of first downs on that second drive, a touchdown on the opening drive. Now that 7-0 Creek defense beginning to fire on all cylinders. Cowdery to punt. Pownell and Starr back deep to return. Cowdery gets a clean snap and a clean kickoff. It's high but kind of short. Fielded by Starr at the 45. He wants to return it. Trying to get some blocks backside. There's a flag down on the near side. Pushing and shoving between the Beavers and Redskins away from the play as Starr skips out of bounds at the 50-yard line. The flag is down at the 47-yard line on Indian Creek's end of the field. Dylan McKenzie hit the deck and took a couple of shoves. And it is a holding penalty against Indian Creek, so the starting field position will get pushed back. So they call that on number 23, Xavier Vines. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line for Indian Creek. But a chance to take the lead for the Redskins here. 6:31 to play in the second quarter. And if you joined us late, Beaver Local gets the ball to start the third quarter. So this could be a big scoring drive. Matesar makes a man miss and fights for 3 yards out to the 40-yard line. A tough, hard-earned 3 yards for Bruce Matesar. Second down and 7 for Indian Creek's offense. And the big change on that last drive was staying out of 3rd down situations. They were in 1 3rd down, and they picked it up on an Ian Starkey rush. It was a 3rd and 4. Those first 2 drives, they got put in 3rd and long and just couldn't quite dig out of the hole. That last drive, they only faced 1 3rd down on a 75-yard march. Starkey, late give to Matesar, and he's tripped up at the 41-yard line. Aiden Price brings him down after a 1-yard pickup. And here comes a 3rd and 6. Line to gain is the 47-yard line. Can the Beavers defense make a stand? Inside 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. Redskins making a bit of a personnel change. Beavers going to stick with their 11 defensively they went with on the previous 2 snaps. Liam Jordan and McElroy communicating to the secondary. The play call here, 3 down linemen for Beaver Local. They switch up their defensive formations and looks quite often. They do it again here. Starkey, deep drop, has time, rolls left. Cowdery spying him. He sets and throws. Caught at the 45-yard line by Ethan Starr, excuse me, but a lot of time for Starkey to make that play, and he finds his receiver for the first down at the Beaver Local 46-yard line. Big first down pickup for Indian Creek. They've now gotten 2 consecutive third down conversions. Again, a big change from what the offense for Indian Creek was doing in that first quarter. Trying to now take the lead. Motion man is Pownell. Starkey fakes the give, keeps it himself. Running room, but gets brought back down at the 42-yard line by Lane Jones. A 4-yard pickup for Starkey. 2nd and 6 upcoming. Wyatt Wright going to exit the game. He was in the previous couple of downs. Devin Kraft comes in for him, the senior defensive lineman who missed a portion of the start of the season for injury. And here comes that 3-down lineman look by the Beavers again, going heavy in the secondary, at least at the linebacker position. They got 3 middle linebackers on the field, 5 members of the secondary. Starkey. Give it a shotgun to Pownell. Pownell up ahead. First down inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. And it seems like that Redskin offensive line is beginning to feast against that 3-down defensive lineman look for Beaver Local. Big chunk of yardage on the run there. Threatening to take the lead just before half. 3.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. And right now, the name of the game for Indian Creek, obviously scoring, but they also want to incorporate some burning of the clock. Don't want to give Beaver Local a chance to tie this game before half. Quick hitter, Ethan Starr, near side, making cuts. Still on his feet inside the 30. Breaks a tackle and down to the 20-yard line. Ethan Starr, what a run after the catch. Finally brought down by Richie Weiss, but it's another first down. Ethan Starr, the go-to receiver on this drive. They'll mark him at the 21-yard line just outside the red zone, but 1st and 10 for Indian Creek again. Moving the ball with ease on this drive. Completely different pictures from first quarter to second quarter. Matsar left side, breaking tackles. He was seemingly bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. Somehow sifted through 3 Beaver Local defenders and picks up 11 yards for another first down. And it's 1st and goal from the 10. Beavers only have 1 timeout remaining to stop the clock and leave time for their offense to potentially do something before the end of the half. And now Indian Creek can really burn some time off. Again, they need a touchdown and a PAT to take a touchdown lead. They tied the game on their last drive. A field goal could do the job as well to take a lead before half. They have 2 timeouts remaining, the Redskins do. Pistol look, Pownell the tailback. Haven't seen Matsar in a few plays. Starkey fakes it, keeps it himself. Right side to the 5, to the 2. Brought down by Cowdery. But it's 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. I take that back about Matsar. He made the previous carry, and he comes back into the game now. But it's been a lot more of Pownell lining up at tailback this drive. Hadn't seen that in the previous 3 offensive drives for the Redskins. Inside 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. There will be time left for the Beavers regardless of how the drive ends. It's a matter of how much. Starkey under center. Give to Pownell. Can he do it again? Yes. And Indian Creek has the lead. 2 Pownell touchdowns have them up 13-7. Haynes to hold for Barcolo, trying to make it 14-7. Snap good, hold good, kick follows suit. 14-7, Indian Creek. Consecutive touchdown drives, both capped off on 2-yard Gavin Pownell touchdown runs, and they have a 14-7 lead, completely flipping the script from how that first quarter went. First quarter, Beavers had 2 good offensive drives, forced Indian Creek to punt and a turnover on downs, but the Beavers, that second offensive drive, removing the ball, that offensive holding penalty really killed the drive, weren't able to cap it off with points. And Indian Creek's 2 got out good offensive drives. They have not handicapped themselves with penalties, have actually only been flagged for 1 penalty in which yardage was enforced. And it was that illegal block in the back penalty. on the second Beaver local punt. Beaver local has a timeout and a minute 32. Can they answer at the very least potentially with a field goal? Deep kick called in. Owen Moore at the 25. Blockers at the 30. Out to the 40-yard line. Good return for Owen Moore to set up the Beavers with good starting field position. And a late flag gets thrown. Let's check the penalty. Number 10 for the Beavers flag, that's Chris Warwick. Number 11 for the Redskins flag. We don't have a number 11 for Indian Creek's roster, so not sure who the penalty was assessed to for the Redskins, but no yardage enacted. It's 1st and 10 for Beaver local from their own 42-yard line, so a shorter field to work with a timeout and a minute 26 in the second quarter. Again, a reminder, first down, stop the clock until the chains reset. Foster at an empty set. We'll see how much they throw the ball on this drive. They tried to do it on the previous drive, just couldn't quite get a rhythm. Foster rolls right, looking to throw. Fires on the run. Pass is incomplete, almost a throwaway, not really close to any intended receiver. Redskins had everything bottled up there. It's 2nd and 10. And now the question is for the Beavers, with Indian Creek having a couple of timeouts, do you run the ball once or twice? If you get a first down, you kick it into overdrive offensively, but if you don't get that first down, at the very least force the Redskins to burn those timeouts. Don't give them a good opportunity to go up 2 scores before the half. Beaver local, again, will get the ball to start the third quarter. That's a big part of the equation here. Shotgun, Foster, play fake, has time, rolls right, a lot of running room right side. He can at the very least scoot out of bounds and stop the clock. He will. Will they give him the first down? He did it right near the marker. They'll spot him out of bounds at the 50. Looked like he got a little farther than that, but apparently not. It's 3rd and 2. As Foster is spotted out of bounds at the 50-yard line. He needed to get to Indian Creek's 48. Was being chased down by Salazar on the last play. Salazar has been everywhere on that defensive line, really that front 7 for Indian Creek. Beavers trying to buy 5 yards. They can't. Minute 12 to play in the second quarter. Can they pick up a short third down? Foster communicates to his slot receiver left side. Jack Nocella takes a snap. Fakes a give. It's an option. Foster keeps it himself. First down and more. Foster right side. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big time run by Wade Foster on the option. And he stops the clock with a minute 6 to play in the second quarter. Gets down to the Redskin 35-yard line. So if the Beavers can get inside the 25, it would be another first down. But the big part of the last 2 plays is Foster having room to get out of bounds. Could have had more room if he stayed in bounds to get yardage, but the important part right now is keeping time on the clock. Foster drop, looking deep, has a man, caught Redos, touchdown Beaver local, what an answer. Luke Redos on the deep ball, 35 yards from Foster, and in 4 plays, Beaver local, an emphatic answer. PAT will tie the game, a minute exactly to play in the second quarter. But what a drive from Wade Foster. Hall on for the extra point. Snap is good, hold is good. Kick also good. 14-14, just 33 seconds and 4 plays needed for Beaver local to tie this game. What a drive. Here towards the end of the second quarter, Foster a couple of big-time runs. The 8-yard scramble on 2nd and 10, picked up 15 yards on the ensuing third down. Then the ensuing first down throws a 35-yard bomb to Luke Redos for the touchdown to tie the game at 14 apiece. Hall to kick it off for Beaver Local. Again, the Redskins still have a pair of timeouts and a minute to work with. They could go on a drive to get some points before the end of the half as well. Hall with a deep kick. Hauled in at the 20-yard line. Return to the 30 and out to the 32 before being tackled is Sawyer Pietro. 1st and 10 for Indian Creek from there, but this is going to be a heavy throwing drive, at least you'd assume, from the Redskins. And after that drive from the Beavers, what does Indian Creek have in store? Starkey to throw. Quick hitter. Caught. Far side. Starr, but he's tackled in bounds at the 36-yard line. That is a clutch tackle made on the boundary. Looked like Liam Jordan or Lane Jones were in on the stop. Luke Redos is also there to help keep contained. No timeout used by the Redskins. They'll hold on to their 2. Starkey to throw again. Deep drop, and he has time in the pocket. Fires on the run. Caught near side, and getting out of bounds is Pietro to the 48-yard line in Creek territory. And there it is, that first down in a time crunch drive situation. That's always the most crucial. And Pietro getting out of bounds to stop the clock with 28 seconds to play in the second quarter. Again, Coach Connor and the Redskins have a pair of timeouts at their disposal. Starkey to throw. 3-man rush. Steps up in the pocket. Cowdery spying. Fires on the run. Pass skipped and incomplete for Pietro again. And it sets up 2nd and 10 with 23 seconds to play in the quarter. Again, the Beavers going with that heavily used 3-down defensive lineman formation, especially on this drive. Their down linemen have been Evan Hours, Devin Kraft, and Jack Nocella the entirety of the drive. Starkey has the ball snapped. It's still on the ground, and Starkey is tackled at the 35-yard line. Starkey did signal to snap the ball. At least it seemed like it. There was no flag thrown to blow the play dead. There's a flag now on the far side of the field. It's for an illegal shift against Indian Creek, which means the play can be counted and Beaver Local can decline the penalty if they wish to, and you would assume they would. Nearly disastrous for Indian Creek that could have set up the Beavers with another opportunity to score before the end of the half, but Starkey's able to get to the ball and dive on it in time. The clock will now run. Indian Creek won't burn a timeout. It's 3rd and very long. Down to 8, down to 7, down to 6, down to 5. Starkey's just going to try to make some magic happen, maybe. Running left. Chased down by Redos. He goes out of bounds at the 50, but the time runs out in the quarter, and that will do it. An exciting first half of football in Wintersville, Ohio, and it's got us with a tie ball game, 14-14 between the 7-0 Redskins and the 4-3 Beavers. Both members of the Buckeye 8 Big School Division and Division 4 Region 15 in the OHSAA playoff format. And this is a big game for both teams. A win for Indian Creek essentially guarantees their playoff spot. For the Beavers, a win here catapults them into a position where they very clearly would control their own destiny the remainder of the season. A great first 24 minutes of football. Both teams will go to the locker room and regroup for the final 24 minutes of regulation. 14-14 our score at halftime. We'll keep it here for the Beaver Local and Indian Creek halftime band performances.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beaver Local High School Music Department is proud to present the pride of Beaver Local, the 2025 Red Pride Marching Band. Under the direction of Mr. Matt Newman, and assistant director and drum major instructor is Alex Flynn. In fact, female Michael, but he named the other four members of his iconic breakaway group. In 1969, the Jackson 5 burst on the Motown scene and lit up the airwaves when their first four singles all hit #1, a record that still stands to this day. From the heartfelt promise of I'll Be There to the irresistible group of I Want You Back, this is Motown at its finest, so sing along. After all, it really is easy as 1, 2, 3. Although this next track never topped charts or sold out records, Smokey Robinson and Miracles is one of the most enduring Motown singles of all time in 1957. In fact, March of 2020, Rolling Stones named it the greatest Motown song of all time, featuring junior trumpet soloist Galen Barr. This is The Tracks of My Tears.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors that you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
At Joe Dickey Electric, no job is too big or too small. We do it all. We power the plants that help bring us together, the businesses that help our community thrive, and the home that you've been dreaming of. We'll even install a light bulb for you. With over 65 years of commercial, industrial, residential, and 24/7 emergency services, you can trust the experts at Joe Dickey Electric because we are everything electrical.
I'm Matt Crystal, and I've been a customer of Greenwood Chevrolet for nearly 10 years. The biggest thing about Greenwood that we love is you get that family-owned aspect that comes into play. We always work with Paul Kello. Paul makes it very simple for us to come in, purchase a vehicle, no different than we go and buy anything else. No hassle, no haggling. We drive them off the lot. Very simple process, which makes it a lot easier for us as a family of 6. Don't have to worry about it. I'm Matt Crystal, and Greenwood Chevrolet went the extra mile for me.
Are your windows letting in more than just the view? At Window Depot, we believe replacing your windows shouldn't be a hassle. Our experienced team handles everything from consultation to installation, making the process smooth and stress-free. Upgrade your home's comfort and energy efficiency effortlessly. Contact us today for a free consultation and discover how easy and affordable it can be.
Getting ready for the start of the second half here from Indian Creek High School in Wintersville, Ohio. We've got a tie ball game, 14-14 between the Beavers and the Redskins. Welcome back into the broadcast. Michael McKenzie with you. A very exciting first half of football. Indian Creek on their opening drive had a 4th and 1. They went for it, didn't convert. The Beavers got a defensive stand and turned it into an opening game drive for their offense. A 52-yard drive capped off by a 6-yard touchdown pass from Wade Foster to Nicholas McKenzie, the first of 2 touchdown passes in the half for Foster. From there, the Beaver offense, they got a few first downs here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, kind of hit a lull in the middle of the first quarter and the majority of the second quarter, and Indian Creek's offense kicked it into high gear at the beginning of the second quarter. A couple of 2-yard touchdown runs by Gavin Pownell on long touchdown drives by the Redskins had Indian Creek up 14-14 with a minute and a half to play in the second quarter, but the Beavers went on a 4-play, 33-second touchdown drive, capped off by a 35-yard touchdown. Foster finding Luke Redos for his second touchdown pass of the day, and that's where we stand, 14-14. Indian Creek and Beaver Local. The Redskins, we mentioned at the outset, they're undefeated on the season. Beaver Local trying to put an end to it. Dylan McKenzie will return the opening kick of the third quarter, and he's got some room to run just shy of the 40-yard line. A good return for McKenzie. And the Beavers offense will have decent starting field position just at their own 40. And it was a heck of a first half, heck of a final drive in that second quarter by Wade Foster. He ran the ball twice for 27 yards, and then the 35-yard touchdown pass to Redos that tied the game. We'll see what the Beavers do to start the third quarter. Power pistol look for Foster and company. Foster will turn and give to Jones. He's hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Jack Knox brings him down at the 39-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Beavers offense. We mentioned Jones has been really the primary ball carrier, the guy that Beaver Local wants to get established on the ground, but it has really been tough sledding the last couple of weeks. He's become the focal point of defensive game plans. Richie Weiss, the motion man. Foster has the ball knocked loose. It's come out, and Indian Creek has it at the 35-yard line. The exchange between Foster and Weiss fumbled, and the Redskins pounce on the football. They are set up at the Beavers' 35-yard line to start their offensive drive in the third quarter, and that a perfect start for Indian Creek, a TFL, and a fumble recovery. Beaver Local went into that locker room feeling great about where they're at. Tie ball game, getting the ball to start the third quarter, but they turn it over. Starkey turns and gives. Bruce Matesar to the 30. Finally brought down there at the 30-yard line. A 5-yard pickup for Matesar, and a late flag is thrown. Indian Creek thinks this is going against the Beavers for a late hit. And it is a late hit by Tucker McElroy, and it's a free 15 yards on a first down for Indian Creek to the 15-yard line. On one play, they're already knocking on the door of reclaiming the lead. Shotgun, Starkey fakes it to Matesar, keeps it himself. He only gets a yard, brought down from behind at the 14-yard line by Aiden Price. 2nd down and 9 now for the Indian Creek offense. And the Beavers defense looking to buckle down here in the red zone. Only about an inch or two given to Starkey on the carry. The nose of the football is just inside the 15-yard line, not quite at the 14. Matesar will jog off the field. Gavin Powell now will enter as the halfback. He's the tailback in this formation, a pistol look. Now he goes to the right of Starkey in a shotgun look, but it's a quarterback power. Right side, Starkey stacked up and wrestled down at the 12-yard line. Only 2 yards for Starkey, and it's 3rd down and 7 for the Redskin offense. Obviously, got to be 4th down territory for Indian Creek unless they trust the place kicker, Franco Barcolo, at some point. But the Beavers defense may need to buckle down for 2 plays. Empty set. Starkey, 3-down lineman for the Beavers, but they bring pressure. Starkey steps up, runs into a hit and a sack. He may have gotten just back to the line of scrimmage, but the Beavers defensive front brings pressure, and they get to the quarterback, Ian Starkey. He just got back to the line of scrimmage at the 12-yard line, but it's 4th and 7, and Indian Creek will go for it. Can the Beavers defense make one more big play? Just inside 9 minutes to play in the third quarter now. Starkey and company looking to turn the fumble recovery into points. The Beavers defense trying to buckle down. Deep in their own end of the field. Starkey, empty set. Matesar's his slot on the right. Pound out slot on the left is the motion man. Starkey fakes the give, is pressured. Whistles are blown for a flag. No, a timeout called by Indian Creek. That is a crucial timeout by Coach Connor because that front and Starkey were not under the impression that a timeout was called, and Starkey looked like he may have been dead to rights in the backfield. But it's a timeout called by Coach Connor, a crucial one. They'll only have 2 remaining in the second half in what is right now a tie ball game, 14-14. They'll draw up a play here for 4th and 7 from the 12-yard line in Beaver Local's end of the field. Can the Beavers defense make one more big-time play? They've already got a 4th down stop back on that opening drive for Indian Creek. This gives us a quick chance to look at some scores from around our YSN family of networks. Girard and Poland tied at 14 at the half. Columbiana up 54-0 against Wellsville at the half. East up 8-6 on Struthers. Lisbon up 49-7 on Southern. You can check the full list of scores on the scores tab of our ysnlive.com website. 4th and 7. Redskins take the field in an empty set. Slot receiver left is Pietro. To the right, it's Pownell. Nobody motion. Starkey, quick hitter. No, it's a pump fake, and he goes to the end zone for Pownell, and it is caught for the touchdown. What a throw and catch on 4th and 7, and Indian Creek reclaims the lead. They pump fake the bubble screen to Ethan Starr. That was a go-to pass play in the first half. Pownell leaks out on a little slot fade route, and a perfect ball from Ian Starkey for the touchdown. The PAT will make it 21-14 if Indian Creek can nail it. Barkalow. Gets his kick up, and good. 21-7, or 21-14, excuse me. But what a 4th and 7 play for Indian Creek. They fake the bubble screen to Ethan Starr and fire the slot fade to Gavin Pownell. Pownell's 3rd touchdown of the game.
You might get 15 minutes to yourself every day. Would you rather spend it in your old, outdated shower or in a new, beautiful, low-maintenance shower? At Home Team and Window Depot, we turn your dreams into reality without the hassle. Our team handles everything from design to installation. You just sit back and enjoy the transformation. No mess, no stress, just a stunning new bathroom tailored to you. Contact us today for a free consultation and discover how easy and affordable it can be.
Indian Creek to kick it back to the Beavers again after the touchdown following the fumble recovery. Return will be made by Dylan McKenzie. Fields it inside the 20. Makes a move to the 30. Cuts it in. 40. McKenzie down at the 45-yard line. Another big return for Dylan McKenzie and the Beaver local kickoff return team. They've done a good job tonight setting up the Beavers with solid starting field position. This time it's really good starting field position from their own 45-yard line. Try to shake off that turnover now. The only turnover in the game thus far. That was a killer in the first half last week against Youngstown East. They turned the ball over 4 times in the first half of that game. Didn't turn it over in the first half here. But the second play in the third quarter for the Beavers offense, the mishandled exchange of the fumble that turns into 7 for Indian Creek. A potential 14-point swing, at least a 7-point swing. Richie Weiss, the motion man. Foster fakes. Takes it himself to the 50. He wrestles his way to the 47. The ball comes out again. It's another fumble that goes Indian Creek's way. Back-to-back fumbles by the Beavers offense. Bruce Matzar comes away with the football, and the Redskin offense is back on the field just like that. And turnovers, potentially a killer to the Beavers again. Foster trying to wrestle for the extra yardage. He got down to the 48 in Redskin territory, but he fumbles it. It's punched out, and Matzar comes away with the fumble recovery. Starkey, play fake, pressure! Gets away from it initially, and he will make a run for a first down. Close to it, at least, at the 43-yard line of the Beavers' end of the field. It is a first. What a play by Starkey on the rollout. Was pressured. It didn't look like he was going to get out of there, but he does. And picks up 10 yards on the scramble, and the Beavers defense on the field again. They got to be gassed. They were just on the field a couple plays ago, and then the fumble, and they're back on. They thought they had a potential stop. They had Indian Creek in 4th and 7. They had the play dead to rights before Coach Connor called a timeout. And Indian Creek dials up a great play for 4th and 7, but here it's a TFL, tackle for loss. Aiden Price with a suplex tackle on Ian Starkey back at the 44-yard line. 2nd down and 11. And now it really has to become buckle down time for the Beavers defense. Can they come up with a crucial stop and prevent this from becoming a 2-score game against a run-heavy Indian Creek team that has 8-0 aspirations? Pistol look. Now Matesar to the left of Starkey. He's going to drop back to throw. 5-man pressure, but Starkey has time and takes a deep shot. Got a man, Ethan Starr, caught at the 10. And it's wrestled away by the Beavers. Luke Redos pulls the ball away for a turnover, and he's taking it the other way at the 45. Can he get a block inside the 35? Just jogs out of bounds at the 30. But what a play to turn this game on its head. Luke Redos wrestles the ball away from Ethan Starr at his own 10-yard line and returns it all the way to Indian Creek's 30. Are you kidding me? Absolutely bonkers. Redos has got to be gassed. That was a 70-yard return. And Indian Creek was looking to go up 2 scores. Luke Redos just gave the Beavers life in this game. Wow. Beavers will take a timeout. Redos is going to try to catch his breath, but so are we all. What a play. A deep shot from Ian Starkey, an on-the-money throw to an open Ethan Starr. But Redos catches up and just rips it away from Starr at the 10-yard line for the turnover. We'll take a break. It's Beavers football at the Redskin 30-yard line when we come back. Try to cash in on the turnover. A game-changing play by Luke Redos on defense. Can the Beavers offense turn it into points? Empty set, Foster, quick hitter, Richie Weiss, the throw's low, skipped and incomplete. They tried to throw it backwards. That was a designed backwards throw. They had Peyton Cowdery leak out, and he was wide open inside the 10, but they say that Foster did not throw it backwards, and that actually may be a saving grace of that play. And now the officials are going to discuss. I'm not sure what the ruling would be potentially. If they discuss and say that the throw did go backwards, but they whistled the play dead, it would be 1st down again for Beaver Local, but they dialed up a trick play. They tried to throw that backwards to Richie Weiss, who was going to throw it to Peyton Cowdery, who was wide open. The trick play was going to work. So it is a replay of 1st down. The throw was backwards upon further discussion. That was quite obviously the design of that play, but it was whistled dead. The throw was a bit low to Weiss. He had to go down to Corral and just try to throw it to Cowdery. It at least would have gotten the Beavers inside the 10-yard line. But the play whistled dead. It being ruled a backwards pass on further discussion gives the Beavers a retry on 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Gotta imagine they wouldn't go trick play now. They won't. Straight give. Cowdery right side. Big carry. Inside the 20. Inside the 15. Cowdery shoves him in at the 10 and works his way to the 5. 25 yards on the pickup for the sophomore Peyton Cowdery. An angry run to set up 1st and goal. And there is an injured Redskin on the field at the 10-yard line. That's Jordan Hines, who's down and injured. We'll take a quick timeout. Beaver Local has 1st and goal from the 5, though, when we come back. 6:12 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Welcome to Mill Creek Indoor Player Development Center, where passion meets precision. Experience state-of-the-art technology with 3 TrackMan fitting bays, ensuring your clubs are perfectly tailored to your game. From fun games for the whole family to expert lessons and clinics, there's something for everyone. Our authorized Callaway Club Fitting Center ensures you're equipped with the best. Book online or call our golf shop to reserve your spot today. Mill Creek Indoor Player Development Center. Elevate your game, rain or shine.
The relief you've been looking for is here. We promote the body's natural self-healing. The power of care is nothing without hope, and our acupuncture treatments were created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian Healthcare.
Hines able to get up on his feet and jog off the field without any help. That always a good sign, but Hines will have to step out for the time being and get checked up by the Indian Creek medical staff. But it's 1st and goal from just outside the 5-yard line for the Beavers offense. Luke Redos literally ripping the ball out of the hands of Ethan Starr at the 10-yard line and returning it 70 yards to the the Creek 30-yard line. Foster runs it right, breaks a tackle. Can he get the edge? Looking for the pylon. Touchdown! Wade Foster, the 5-yard rushing touchdown. They cash in the turnover, and the PAT can tie this game at 21. And what a turn of events at Indian Creek. Braden Hall for the kick to make it 21-21 with 5:51 to play in the third quarter. Snap, hold, kick are all good. 21-21. A 14-point swing potentially on that Luke Redos rip away. I'm not sure to call that an interception or a fumble. Not sure if Ethan Starr had possession of it long enough for it to be a catch, but Starr had the ball in his hands, and it was taken out by Redos. Returns it from the 10 to the Indian Creek 30. And in just 2 plays, Beaver Local is back in the end zone to tie this game at 21 apiece. We'll take a quick break for an injury timeout. Beaver's going to kick it back to the Redskins in just a moment.
At Sheely's Furniture and Appliance, you can afford to be yourself. Family owned since 1952. With one of the largest showrooms and in-stock selections in Northeast Ohio, you are sure to find pieces to make your house your perfect home. Shop with confidence with our everyday low pricing, price match guarantee, and free local delivery. We want to exceed your expectations, not your budget. From recliners to sofas to accent tables, FlexSteel's comfort, style, and quality make them the perfect addition to any room. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
The injured Beaver able to get off and jog off the field under his own power. Again, a good sign for the Beavers, but Hall ready to kick it back to Indian Creek following the turnover forced by Luke Redos. The potential play not only of the game but of the year for Beaver Local if that can kickstart them into potentially winning this game. But now we are tied 21-21, middle of the third quarter here at Indian Creek. What a game we have witnessed. And we still have a full fourth quarter and 5 minutes and 51 seconds of the third quarter to play in regulation. Hall a high short kick, hauling it at the 30-yard line. And just a lateral return for really no yardage by Indian Creek. It looked like that was Nicholas Jameson on the return. And it's 1st and 10 for Indian Creek from the 31-yard line in their own territory. Their first 2 drives of the quarter, they got to start in Beaver Local territory thanks to a couple of fumble recoveries. The first drive they turned into points, converting a 4th and 7 for a touchdown pass. But then the second drive, the rip away by Luke Redos, a bunch formation. It's just a give left side to Bruce Matzar, who's dragging a pile of defenders out shy of the 40 at the 39-yard line. What a tough run by Matzar for an 8-yard pickup. Second down and 2. Line to gain is the 41-yard line. Redskins still on their own end of the field. Another bunch set here, really trying to, at least it seems like, establish the run. Starkey, right. Quarterback keeper all the way. He's got a first down and a little bit more out to the 47-yard line. Tripped up there, but a big run for the Redskin quarterback to make it 1st and 10. And again, that key is staying out of 3rd and 4th down. They are a combined 3 for 7 on 3rd and 4th downs today. That has not really been the place of comfort for this Indian Creek offense. Starkey under center. Will give to Matesar. Left side. Plunges ahead, but he only picks up 2 yards to the 49-yard line. Not much doing there for Bruce Matesar. It's 2nd down and 8. But again, can't quite get over that play by Luke Redos, the last offensive drive. Then the Beavers try that trick play. It was whistled dead by the officials. They get a retry on 1st down because of a missed call, the play being whistled down early, and then 2 plays later, the Beavers into the end zone. Starkey, play action, gonna take a shot. Wide open is Gavin Pownell. Nobody near him. A 4th touchdown for Gavin Pownell to put Indian Creek back up by 6. Perfectly timed play action pass. Pownell goes 52 yards. And it's 27-21. Barkalow on for the extra point with 3:59 to play in the 3rd quarter. How about the back and forth affair here in Wintersville, Ohio? Snap good, hold good, kick good. Barkalow makes it 28-28. 3:59 to play in the 3rd quarter. Redskins back up a touchdown. Late stages, 3rd quarter, here YSN.
There are 4 members of GoldenStringRadio.org that works for your sports network. Super Dave, Kristen, Scotty, and myself. And if you love our work at Golden String, Isle, and Purple Cat, you are going to love the soon-to-be open GABA camp out at Farmer Casey's Ranch in Coatesville Township. It has all the nice, beautiful scenery, will feature cabins, and a whole lot of other great outdoor stuff. I'm Radar Pavlov, and my sports network is your sports network.
28-21, Indian Creek with the lead. 3:59 to play in the 3rd quarter. Beavers will get the ball back. Big time answer for the Redskins after just a bonkers turnover. 3 turnovers combined already in the 3rd quarter. 2 by the Beavers, 1 by the Redskins. Both teams with 7 points off turnovers in the half. Low kick off the foot of Moore. It's just low, and Moore smartly is just going to dive on it at the 17 as opposed to potentially trying to pick it up and make a run, but would have been tougher to pick that up cleanly and try to make a return out of it. He just ensures that the Beavers will get the ball. Even if it is poorer starting field position, they'll start at their own 17-yard line, so a lot of field to work for this Beavers offense to try to tie the game again. The worst starting field position of the game for the Beavers. Can they cook up a long touchdown drive to potentially tie the game again? 3:56 to play in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Wade Foster and company. One of the better offensive games of the year for the Beavers. Can they keep it going? Foster, give to Jones. Big run for Jones. Left side has room out past the 30. Wrestled down at the 35. And a flag comes in just as Jones was going to the ground. This may be offensive holding. They call that on Nicholas McKenzie, holding on the boundary. It's 10 yards from the previous spot of the foul and a replay of 1st down. So it'll actually be 1st and 2. The penalty occurred all the way out at the 35-yard line, so the ball comes back to the 25. Big gain for Jones, somewhat negated, but the Beavers do still have 1st and 2. They just need to get to the 27-yard line for another 1st down. Shotgun look. Foster takes the snap. Give to Jones again, left side. Wrestled down at the line of scrimmage is Lane Jones. Luke McMillan makes the stop. He'll give Jones a yard out to the 26-yard line, and now the official's going to talk about something. A free 15 yards gifted to the Beavers on a late hit personal foul penalty. So they get all the way out to the 41-yard line. First down and 10 for Beaver Local. So after the holding penalty against Beaver Local, Indian Creek commits the personal foul. And man, this game has been full of twists and turns and emotional highs and lows, and we still got quite a bit of football to play. Foster, play fake, keeps it, right side, breaks one tackle, stays on his feet, flag thrown as he gets just back to the line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line, but this may be coming back. Oh, the initial point is against Indian Creek, actually. Two 15-yard personal foul penalties against Indian Creek has really jolted this Beavers' drives. They're all the way out to the Redskin 44-yard line, 30 yards in penalties on this drive alone. That's Gavin Pownell, flagged for a face mask. 2:45 to play in the third quarter. Clock now running. Beavers trying to go 83 yards on a touchdown drive. Foster turns and gives. Cowdery gets the edge, cuts it up inside the 40. Still on his feet, wrestling inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. How about some tough runs from Peyton Cowdery in the third quarter? He had a 25-yard angry run on the first play, the first official play after the Luke Redos turnover, and how about a quick 15-yard pickup there on an angry run? They go to him again. Does he have more in the tank? Cuts it back. Yes, he does, inside the 20. Down to the 17-yard line, just a yard shy of the line to gain. But Peyton Cowdery's doing some damage on the ground for the Beavers offense. Second down and 1 for this Beavers offense inside the red zone. Inside 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Power pistol, Foster. They'll call Cowdery again. Right side. Did he wrestle for the first down? No, the ball came out. Did Indian Creek get it again? Yes! Wow! Turnovers once again. The potential killer to the Beavers. Cowdery fumbles at the end of the run. The Beavers were driving to tie the game potentially, but Indian Creek forces another fumble, their third fumble recovery in the quarter, and they'll have the ball up 7 at their own 18-yard line. The Indian Creek defense coming up big again. And we mentioned 4 turnovers in the first half last week against Youngstown East, now 3 in the third quarter here for the Beavers against Indian Creek. Bruce Matesar, big running lane. That's actually Gavin Pownell, who's had a big day out to the 45-yard line. They'll mark him out at the 43, but nonetheless a big gain for Pownell. And now Indian Creek, like sharks smelling blood in the water. Their third turnover in the third quarter alone defensively. Can they turn it into 7 more points? Pistol look. Starkey turns and gives. Pownell plunges ahead, but he doesn't get anything this time. Maybe a yard. Out to the 44-yard line. That's about it. It'll be 2nd and 9. A minute and a half to play in the third quarter, but what a crucial turnover forced by the Redskin defense with the Beavers driving inside the 20-yard line. And the Beavers defense trying to get it back for the offense, but just hoping that turnovers are not the story at the end of this game and that they can get a stop here to maybe mount a comeback. A minute left to play in the third quarter. Starkey fakes the give, keeps it himself left side. He's got so much room to run. Inside the 20, Starkey will go. Touchdown, Indian Creek. 52 seconds to play in the third quarter, and Ian Starkey puts the Redskins up 34-21. Barkelow's kick is good again. He's a perfect 5 for 5 on PATs. 35-21. Indian Creek's defense forcing turnovers. That's the story of this third quarter. As the Redskins try to move to 8-0, they now have a 2-score lead late in the third quarter. Beaver Local has been able to mount some drives here in this second half, but turnovers just the killer for the Beavers here on the road. They've turned it over 3 times, all on fumbles in this third quarter alone after taking perfect care of the football in the first half. Kick hauled in by Dylan McKenzie. Can he get another good return? Solid return out to the 35. They may give him the 36-yard line. Decent starting field position for the Beavers. This has been right about average for them today. But now it's desperation mode, it feels like, for this offense. Got to get a touchdown here, make this a 1-score game. But offensively for the Redskins, they're turning those turnovers into points. 14 points off turnovers in this third quarter alone. And they've been able to really start establishing that run game, leaning on that Beaver Local front. Bruce Matzar with some big runs against Starkey we just saw with the 45-yard touchdown run. Richie Weiss, the motion man. Foster fakes it to him, keeps it himself. He has some running room up the middle, wrestles his way to the 41-yard line, and gets spun down there. About a 4-yard pickup, maybe 5 there on first down. It'll be 2nd and 6. We'll call it a 4-yard gain. 31 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Beavers do not have to snap this before the beginning of the fourth quarter, but they may want to try to get further down the field, run another play, down a couple of scores, and time dwindling down. The game clock is exactly 1 second ahead of the play clock. Foster in an empty set. Throw, fires in the flat lane. Jones makes the catch, trying to slip a tackle, and he does, and he gets the first down out to the 47-yard line at the end of the third quarter. We'll flip ends of the field. Beaver Local has 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line, but they're down a pair of touchdowns as we enter the fourth quarter. Indian Creek trying to stay undefeated in 2025. The Beavers looking for a potentially season-defining win, and they'd have to do it on the road in comeback fashion with 12 minutes of regulation football left. We'll see those in just a few here on YSN.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
We'll see some scattered showers and perhaps a rumble of thunder or two.
Online.
This is going to be the culprit for some unsettled weather as we go over the next couple of days.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat around sunset this evening.
Beaver Local will have it at their own 47-yard line. 1st down and 10. Down 35-21 as we enter quarter number 4. 12 minutes of regulation football left for the Beavers. They need a touchdown, a stop, and another touchdown, at the very least, to force overtime. Shotgun to start the fourth for the Beavers offense. Jones in the backfield with Foster. Foster gives it. Jones stacked up and brought down. Deshaun White, the TFL. Forward progress is back at the 45-yard line, but it's a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12, and you got to imagine this point in the game, everything is 4-down territory for Beaver Locals offense. So they still have 3 plays to get this first down. Jones moves to the tight end in the formation. Empty set for Foster, who's going to roll left, looking to throw. Jones an extra blocker to give Foster time, who throws cross body, and the pass is incomplete, dropped over the middle of the field. McKenzie, the intended receiver. Or actually, that was McKenzie who was the intended receiver. And it makes it 3rd down and 12. Would have had it at about the 45-yard line, at least a couple of yards shy of that line again. Instead, it's 3rd down and 12. Beavers at the very least trying to make this a 4th and more manageable. Redos on an island to the right in the formation, a shotgun look. McKenzie out wide, slot, Nocella. Richie Weiss also out wide left in the formation. Foster to throw, straight drop, steps up. Still looking, fires, and the pass is batted. The play is whistled dead. That was a forward pass that was just knocked as Foster takes a big hit, is slow to get up, and it's 4th down and 12. Do the Beavers go for this? No, they're not. They're going to send the punting unit onto the field. And Indian Creek will get the football back offensively and a chance to put this game on ice. Cowdery to punt it away for the Beavers. Indian Creek in a bit of a safe man set to watch for a fake. Cowdery will boot it. Starr underneath of it. It takes a bounce and is downed by Dylan McKenzie at the 22-yard line. Nearly bounced off a Redskin player who was running down there trying to, but doesn't touch anybody on the Redskins return team. So Beaver Local has to down it at the 22 for Indian Creek to take over. And now for the Beavers, paramount to get a quick stop or maybe get a turnover of your own. If you remember the Luke Redos turnover in the middle of the 3rd quarter that kept the Beavers in this game at the time. Wyatt Wright running onto the field late on the defensive line for Beaver Local. Starkey goes under center, gives it, flag thrown. And the ball carrier looked like Matesar was stacked up. The flag was thrown on the snap. This is a pre-snap penalty. It's an illegal shift against Indian Creek. There was a 1-yard gain for Matesar, so you assume Beaver Local accepts the penalty. They will accept the penalty. The 5 yards moves Indian Creek back to the 17-yard line, 1st and 15. They have to get out to the 30, right between the 32 and the 33-yard line. Somewhere between there. That's where the down marker is situated. But the Beavers have Indian Creek behind the chains. Can the defense take advantage? Starkey under center. Pitches. Matesar, left side of the boundary. Chased down and ripped to the ground by Peyton Cowdery. The ball comes out. Jones recovers it and takes it for a touchdown. Defensive touchdown for the Beavers in the 4th quarter. Their 3rd in 2 weeks. And it's a 1-score game again. What is happening? Cowdery got the tackle and the forced fumble. Lane Jones picks it up and takes it for a touchdown. Braden Hall on for the extra point to make this a 7-point game. Redos to hold. Snap is clean. Hold is clean. Kick. Good. 35-28. In a wild contest that still has 10 minutes and 43 seconds of 4th quarter clock left. Set it before the drive. The Beavers need a quick stop. Or maybe they could get a turnover of their own. Well, how about a defensive touchdown? They had 2 last week against Youngstown East that propelled them to a 13-point comeback victory. Now a defensive touchdown early 4th quarter at Indian Creek that makes this a 7-point game. And this game has been turned on its head 5 different times by both of these defenses forcing turnovers. That's now 2 turnovers forced by the Beavers defense, 3 by the Redskins defense, all of them in the second half, and one of the more wild games you'll see this year. Hall to kick it off. It's a short line drive kick. It's hit by Indian Creek. The ball is loose. Beaver Local recovered it. Are you kidding me? You could not draw up a more wild football game in Wintersville, Ohio tonight. Looked like that was the design. Braden Hall, just a low line drive kick right at Joey Lopez. It went through his hands and was recovered, it looked like, by Jack Nocella at the Indian Creek 37-yard line. And the Beavers offense is back on the field with 1st and 10, a chance to tie this game. Power pistol, Foster turns, gives to Jones, plunges ahead, and he only gets a couple out to the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8. Line to gain is the 28-yard line, an Indian Creek territory for the Beavers offense with completely newfound life. Indian Creek had the ball up 35-21. A chance to put it away. A fumble return for a touchdown by the Beavers, and they steal a possession, recovering a kickoff to give their offense the ball with a chance to maybe tie this game, or if they decide to go for 2 after scoring a touchdown, take the lead. But there's still 10 minutes and a second to play in the fourth quarter. Beaver Local will burn their second timeout of the half. The scoreboard says they have only 1 remaining in the fourth quarter. Indian Creek has a pair. That could be a big story as we get late in a close, what is becoming a high-scoring contest. I don't know if we have enough time to recap what has happened just in this fourth quarter alone, but let's try. It was 35-21. The Beavers were forced to punt after a couple of plays. Indian Creek had it at their own 22-yard line. They get pushed 5 yards back on a penalty. Bruce Matzar fumbles the ball at the 15. Lane Jones picks it up and takes it for a Beavers defensive touchdown to make this a 1-score game. The ensuing kickoff, Braden Hall kicks it right at a Redskin. It was Joey Lopez. It deflects off his hands, and Jack Nocella picks up the football for the free possession we are witnessing now. 2nd and 8. Pistol look. Foster turns, gives to Joe. No, he fakes it, wants to throw, has nobody. Couple pumps. Now he fires, incomplete. That was a throwaway by Foster. And that makes it 3rd down and 8. That was a play action. They tried a flood concept to the right, but Indian Creek had it covered well, and it's 3rd and 8. But this area of the field, it is quite obviously 4-down territory, you would assume. Third and 8, shotgun look. Foster, 2 receivers right and left. Gonna roll right, looking to throw. Couple of pumps, now he throws. Traffic, and it is incomplete. Redos tried to hold on to it, but it was shoved to the ground by Gavin Pownell. What a play and coverage by Pownell to make this 4th down and 8. And the Beavers in danger of not being able to cash in on the free possession to potentially tie this game. 9:48 to play in the fourth quarter. Still a lot of football, but it really feels like this was almost a must-score possession with the way things went in the last 30 seconds. 4th and 8. Let's see where the Beavers go. 3 receivers right, 1 out left. It's McKenzie on an island. Far side official blows the whistle. He's pointing at something. So an equipment issue with Peyton Cowdery. He has to come off the field for a play. They were going to have Cowdery as the back in a shotgun formation. The Beavers still haven't sent out a replacement. It'll be Lane Jones. And now the near side official is saying something. So 9:50 is where the game clock will be reset to. The clock was running as the Beavers were trying to make a substitute for the player that the officials took a timeout to take out of the game. 9:50 to play in the fourth, but it's 4th and 8. Foster deep drop, looking to throw, taking a shot. End zone for McKenzie, he overthrew it, it's incomplete. And the Indian Creek defense stands tall after the Beavers special teams stole a possession, so the Redskins will take over at their own 36-yard line, and it'll go back to the Beavers defense to get a stop here. But with what we've seen in this game, still 9:43 to play in the fourth quarter, it's way too much football to know how this game's going to end. 1st and 10. Starkey's in the pistol. Matesar's behind him. Play fake. No, they will give it. Left side, that's actually Pownell. Pownell tried to get away, but he couldn't. He maybe got an extra couple of yards, but he's brought down by Peyton Cowdery. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Only 2 yards on the pickup. Can the Beavers defense come up with a stop? Again, Beaver Local only has 1 timeout remaining. That's going to be key for the rest of this quarter as Indian Creek tries to burn as much clock as possible. The Redskins have a pair of timeouts if they need to make a couple of offensive substitutions or redraw up a play call. Beaver Local's defense, again, only 1. You got to use it wisely. Shotgun, Starkey with Pownell, lead blocking for him on a quarterback power. Left side, Starkey wrestles for the first. If they give him the 45, it's a 1st down. And they will. I still don't know. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down. They're going to spot him at the 44-yard line or maybe just past it. Right at the 44-yard line. It's 3rd and 1 for Indian Creek's offense. Wyatt Wright was on for that last play, or he came off. Now he's back on for Richie Weiss. Beavers going heavy set. They can't take a timeout here, or they'd burn their final one of the fourth quarter. Turn and the give. Pownell wrestles for the first. All he needed was 1, and he got 4. Out to the 48-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 for Indian Creek. 8:50 to play in the fourth quarter. Clock still winding down. Starkey under center. Little wing T look. He gives it right side. Pownell doesn't get much. He tries to extend the ball for a couple of extra yards. That was dangerous. Put the ball in harm's way, but he does get a positive yard there instead of no gain out to the 49-yard line. Only a yard, though. It's 2nd down and 9. Here comes the big play for the Beavers defense. Can they get Indian Creek into 3rd and long? That's been the uncomfortable spot for the Redskins offense. Just about the only one. Otherwise, this offense has been free-flowing, especially since the start of the second quarter. They didn't score in the first. They've scored 35 since, 14 off of turnovers. Starkey under center. Will turn and play fake. Keeps it himself. Can he get the edge? Cuts it in. Yes, he can. And Starkey will work for a first. That's a big-time run by the Indian Creek quarterback to get a 1st down out to the Beaver Local 41-yard line. He's slow to get up, helped to his feet by his teammates. But a big-time run by Ian Starkey to pick up 10 yards for the 1st down. 7.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Clock still winding down. A touchdown here for Indian Creek could potentially put this game away. Starkey under center again. This has really been the formation the entirety of the drive. Starkey will give to Matesar left side. Matesar has a running lane inside the 35 down to the 29-yard line. Bruce Matesar picks up 12 yards and another 1st down. And here comes that heavy rushing attack for the Redskin offense. It's been their bread and butter all year. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Now Indian Creek, they're taking this play clock down about as late as possible. There's only 12 to snap it when they break the huddle. 6:45 to play in the fourth quarter. The clock a big factor now. Starkey under center snaps it. Gives left side. Pownell into a stack of Beaver defenders, and they draw a 2-yard loss back at the 31-yard line. Peyton Cowdery got back there first. Lane Jones helped him out on the TFL. 2nd and 12 now for Indian Creek's offense, with 6:20 to play in the fourth quarter. They're going to snap this one right at about or just inside 6 minutes of fourth quarter clock to play. They take the line of scrimmage with 6 seconds to snap it, now 5. Starkey snaps it, gives it to Pownell on a misdirection, but Pownell is tripped up at the 30-yard line. Only a yard, and it's 3rd down and 11. Now where does Indian Creek go? Do they put the ball in the air potentially, or do they go on the ground again at this area of the field? Not sure what Barkelow's range is. He was making from about 30-35, or at least he was trying from 30-35 pregame. This would be 50-plus. Can't quite kick it from here, but a punt does you almost no good in terms of field position unless you can down it inside the 5, which would be a very tough task. Pistol look, 2 wide, 1 left and right for Starkey. Starkey will give to Pownell, cuts it in. Pownell wrestling, but he's down at the 35-yard line. That's 6 yards shy of where he needed to get. It's 4th and 6. Pownell picked up 5. And here comes potentially the play that could decide this game. Inside 5 minutes to play. 4th and 6 for the Indian Creek offense. They're up a touchdown. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Connor runs this down or tries to get in a hard count here before calling a timeout after running the play clock all the way down to 1 second. They're not even going to take the line of scrimmage. Coach Connor's going to run this down to 1 second on the play clock. That will be 4:24 to play, 4:23 to play, in the fourth quarter. And the Redskins will try to draw up their best 4th down play call to stay on the field offensively and try to get what now would most certainly be the game-sealing score. Gives us a chance to look at some other scores from around our YSN family of teams. Columbiana, a winner over Wellsville, 54-6. Edison up 34-6 on East Liverpool, end of the third quarter of that game. Salem, 41-20 is their lead over Carrollton. Crestview beats Champion tonight, 53-8. And McDonald wins their game tonight, 47-6. Another final, Springfield up 19-7 on Mineral Ridge. Youngstown East up 14-12 on Struthers in the fourth quarter of that game. Salem actually just went up 48-20 on Carrollton as we spoke. Again, all scores are on the scores tab of our ysnlive.com website. But here's the play of the game. Pownell is the tailback in a pistol formation. 2 receivers right, nobody left. Pownell now left in the shotgun. Starkey takes the snap, whistles blow. The far side official blew the whistle, blew it dead before the play could commence. I believe the play clock may have been at 0, but it needed to be reset to 25. So that was the issue. So Indian Creek may have just called a different play on this 4th down. Ian Starkey went to the head coach went to the sideline to his head coach, Andrew Connor. Not sure if he gave him the same play call or they drew something new up. We'll see on the formation. Beaver Local side of the field making about as much noise as they can. Same formation, at least to start. Does Pownell motion to the left here? Yes, he does. Shotgun look. Tight end to the left side of the formation. And Indian Creek false started. Indian Creek is pointing at the Beavers that they jumped in the neutral zone. It looked like the left guard false started. That's at least what it looked like from up here. If it's an encroachment, it's 4th and 1 for Indian Creek. It's a 12 men on the field penalty against Beaver Local. So it is going to be 4th and 1 instead of 4th and 6. That is such a crucial penalty. All Indian Creek needs is a yard to stay on the field offensively. 4:23 to play in the fourth quarter. Oh, that is a crucial penalty. Looked like the Redskin left guard false started, and that movement was what drew the penalty. But Beaver Local had 12 men in formation. So that is the call. That would have been the penalty, and it would have been announced after the play, as Indian Creek would have been able to decline it if they had picked up the first down anyway. Starkey now goes under center. Beavers packing the line. Starkey will give. Pownell dives. Where's the spot? Second effort, but he's whistled down. The spot looks about an inch short. They're going to at least have to measure this. Beaver Local is emphatically saying that Pownell did not get that. Everybody is on pins and needles waiting for an official call, or maybe they may need a measurement. From our vantage point here, it's first down Beavers, and that's the call. No measurement needed. Beaver Local's defense stands tall. 4:19 to play in the fourth quarter, and Beaver Local's offense gets one more chance to go tie or win this game. Indian Creek took 5 minutes of clock off on that drive. But Beaver Local's defense in the end makes the necessary plays. Shotgun look for Foster and the Beavers. Rolls flipped, and Beaver Local has a chance to go win it. Foster will give. No, he fakes. Keeps it himself. Left side. First down out to the 32-yard line for Wade Foster. And if you remember last year, the only snaps at quarterback Foster took, at least in non-cleanup, mop-up duty, he had to come in for an injured Taylor Johnston in the fourth quarter against Hubbard last year. Down a touchdown. He led a game-tying touchdown drive in the final 3 minutes of that game. Does he have some late-game magic on the road against the undefeated Redskins? 1st and 10 from the 32. Foster in the gun. Takes the snap, play fake. Looking over the middle, but it's all bottled up, so he tries to run, breaks a tackle, just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a yard to the 33-yard line, but that's about it. It'll be 2nd and 9. Again, Beavers only have one timeout remaining, 3 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Not going at complete hurry up yet, but at least the tempo needs to be pushed. And with the way this game has gone, it's only fitting it's going to come down to the waning moments. Foster delivering the play call to his teammates. 12 seconds to snap it. 3:15 to play in the fourth quarter. Foster in the gun. Jones back there with him. Foster, or that's Cowdery. Cowdery gets the carry left side, trying to push the pile. Tough run. He gets out to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and medium. Call it about 4. Beavers have 2 plays to pick this up. It's absolutely going to be 4-down territory the rest of the way. Inside 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Again, clock will now stop after every first down to reset the chains. Inside 5 minutes in the second and fourth quarters. That's the clock rule in Ohio high school. 3rd and 4. Beavers have to get to the 42-yard line. They'll have at least 2 plays to do it. Foster, low snap, and he corrals it. Fakes the give, takes it himself. Stacked up by Nashawn White and brought down at the line of scrimmage. And here comes the ball game. It'll be 4th and 4. 2:20 to play in the fourth. Clock winding down. Time running out for the Beavers, but the first step is getting this first down. They have to convert 4th and 4, or that's essentially the ball game. There's no 2-minute timeout or warning in high school. So we'll be inside 2 minutes when the 4th down snap is taken. Both teams a timeout remaining. Indian Creek doesn't look like they're going to call one defensively. It doesn't look like the Beavers are going to call theirs offensively. So here comes the ball game. Shotgun. Foster will throw. Fires near side. Caught by Redos. First down at the 46-yard line. Clock stops with 1:46 to play in the fourth quarter. Nails. What a play. Foster to Redos to keep the game alive. Now the clock will run. Chains reset. 1:40 to play in the fourth quarter. And now comes that no huddle, high-tempo offense. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Redos is on the island. Cowdery to the right for Foster, who's going to look to throw. Over the middle. Caught by Jack Nocella at the 42-yard line in Redskin territory. What a tough catch by the sophomore tight end Nocella for another first down and a money throw from Wade Foster. 1st and 10 from the 43. Clock now runs 1:20 to play in the fourth quarter, and time is dwindling down. Again, one timeout in the Beavers' back pocket. They're in Redskin territory. They need a touchdown and a PAT to tie it. Deep drop for Foster. Screenplay. Cowdery catches it on the sideline, tries to cut it in at the 40, and he's going to stay in bounds. That's huge. He's tackled at the 38. He picks up 5 yards, but he stays in bounds. The clock is going to run inside a minute to play. At 57, now 56, now 55. Beavers got to go, no huddle. Cowdery had a chance to get out of bounds, but he couldn't. Shotgun. Foster on 2nd down and 5. Will drop back to throw. Looking. Fires near side. Caught by Redos, who scoots out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Another connection between Foster and Redos. And the clock stops with 43 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. And you got to be wondering if Beaver Local has a 2-point play drawn up, or are they just going to elect to kick the PAT, tie this, and potentially go to OT? Things you're thinking about if you're a coach. But as a player, all you got to be thinking about is executing and getting into that end zone. That's step one for the 11 offensive players for Beaver Local. Foster to throw. Deep drop, has to step up. He wants to scramble, but he'll fire at the last second, and another tough catch on the sideline by Luke Redos at the 25-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup, but more importantly, he gets out of bounds and stops the clock with 37 seconds to play. I would say catch your breath, but there's no time for it. 2nd down and 3 for Beaver Local's offense. 37 seconds to play and a timeout remaining. Foster to throw. Rolls right. Fires. Looking Redos end zone. Incomplete. Passes errant. A little bit overthrown. And a flag is thrown. There's a flag, and it's going to be defensive pass interference. And the important thing to note, that was an overthrow. But in Ohio high school football, there is no such thing as an uncatchable pass. So even if the pass was uncatchable, if the Redskin defender impeded with Redos' ability to get to the ball, it wouldn't matter. But the call is a personal foul penalty against Indian Creek. That's 15 penalty yards out to the 12-yard line. And it's a 1st and 10 for Beaver Local with 32 seconds to play, and the clock starts on the snap. Can the Beavers finish this drive off? Again, the clock doesn't start until the snap. So the Beavers can take their time, make sure the communication is all right. They have 1 timeout remaining. Get out of bounds and you stop the clock. Foster rolls left, looking to throw. Now he steps up. He had nowhere to go, and he's dropped, and that's going to be the timeout. The timeout will be used there. Foster loses a yard to the 13-yard line. 25 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. And the Beavers do not have a timeout remaining, and now there's an injured Redskin who falls down. It looks like that's Ian Starkey, who was trying to get off the field, and he couldn't, favoring his left leg. They'll check on him. The Beavers already used the timeout on the sack. It'll be 2nd down and 11. If the Beavers get inside the 2-yard line, they'd have a first down and could momentarily stop the clock. A lot of moving parts here, but right now the attention is on the injured Redskin, and it looks like it's Ian Starkey. So we'll step aside while they check on him. Late fourth quarter, 25 seconds to play. The Beavers down 7, but they have the ball at Indian Creek's 13-yard line, trying to tie the game.
A better night's sleep starts at Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop. Discover luxury sleep solutions for any budget with a carefully curated gallery of premier mattresses from leading manufacturers, including Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Serta Perfect Sleeper, Beauty Rest Black, and more, all under one roof. Plus, enjoy exclusive closeout savings on select mattresses up to 50% off. Free delivery, setup, and removal on most makes and models. Only at Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop.
Sleepy Hollow, locally owned since 1979.
How did you sleep last night?
The ins and outs of everyday life can be chaotic. This is how every hectic day should end. Get any one of these hot tubs for less than $189 a month. And for right now, you can run on dealer money, which is 0% APR for 72 months. Your escape is just a step away. Visit your favorite location or BurnettPools.com.
come back early from the commercial because it's 2nd and 11. Starkey is going to stay in the game, just a cramp, so he's good to go. Beavers don't have a timeout, though. That's the important thing to note. They have to work the sidelines or get this into the end zone. They have the ball at the Indian Creek 13-yard line. The officials are discussing something. Coach McKenzie just jogged onto the field, emphatically pleading his case about something. I think he wants Starkey off the field. He thinks Starkey has to come out for a play. It looked like the injury was a cramp to his left leg. Starkey got back to his feet, gave a couple of hops, and it looks like he's good to go. He will remain on the field. I mean, that's one of the better players for Indian Creek. Paramount for this Redskin defense. He's still on the field. Shotgun. 2nd down. 25 seconds to play. Foster will look to throw. Pressured, but he rolls right. Still rolling, and he's just going to throw it away. That throw didn't get to the line of scrimmage, and the flag is thrown for intentional grounding. There's 21 seconds left. This may be a 10-second runoff as well, as it was a running clock. And if it is a running clock and a 10-second runoff, Beaver Local has to get to the line of scrimmage because it's going to be the last play of the game. It's at least a loss of down penalty, so it's 3rd down. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul. It's all the way back at the 22. They did not run 10 seconds off, so it's not a 10-second runoff as of now. Wonder if the Beavers dial up something to get out of bounds quickly, pick up a quick 10 yards. It's actually from the spot of the foul, or 5 yards extra from the spot of the foul, so the ball's all the way back to the 32-yard line. Beavers were at the 12. Now at the 32. 21 seconds of play, clock running. Foster deep drop. Everybody running end zone. Taking a shot. Looking for Redos. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. And it's 4th down with 13 seconds to play. Here comes the ball game. And you got to imagine that this might just be a Hail Mary or hook and ladder something. The official just said the play clock should be 40 seconds, not the game clock. Some of the Redskin fans heard game clock. Just the play clock. The game clock stopped at 13. Here comes the game. And it is a Hail Mary. Creek brings 4. Foster takes the end zone shot. Nocell is the intended receiver, but it's intercepted. And that's the ball game. It comes down to the final seconds. But it's Jordan Hines with the game-winning interception, and the Redskins are 8-0. And a heartbreaking loss for Beaver Local. In a back-and-forth game, they had driven it all the way down to Indian Creek's 12-yard line. But a TFL, then an intentional grounding, put the Beavers all the way back outside the 30, and it was too deep a hole to dig themselves out of. Hines ran out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That's actually interesting here. So Indian Creek has to pick up a yard. Not sure what's going on with the clock here, but the scoreboard turned off here at Wintersville. The scoreboard clock, everything on the scoreboard's completely off. So they're going to have to keep the time on the field. The officials said there's 4 seconds left. So if Indian Creek can just pick up positive yards here, the game is over. They did. They got a half a yard, and that's it. Indian Creek in a wild back-and-forth game that went every which way. They will pick up the big-time win to move to 8-0 and essentially secure their spot in the playoffs for 2025 for the Beavers. Just a heartbreaking loss. So many chances in this game.